Welcome to Distilogics webinars. Thank you for being with us today. I'm Mohammed Elian from Distilogics, and today's webinar is going to be in partnership with a great technology vendor, Protelion, someone that has a technology vendor with a great team and a great innovation that has disrupted the industry in different angles. One of them is what we call secure communication or corporate secure communication. The other one is operational technology or industrial security. The third one is in cybersecurity training and cyber range kind of platforms, in addition to other tools and technologies that they have. I will leave this later on to the gentlemen, but first we will go through a round of introduction so that you know everyone that we have today. So start with you, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Mott. Hello and have a great day. So my name is Josef Watzlaw. I'm the CEO of Protelion here in Germany. We are based in Berlin. And yes, I will give you a short update about our unique technology today and also talk about the value add we have for your customers using our technology, maybe in combination with the existing technology that they have in place. Thank you so much, Mr. Mott, for organizing that.
Thank you. Mr. Pavel?
Yeah, my name is Pavel. Nice to meet with you. I'm responsible for pre-sales and project management in Protelion GmbH. So today I'm going to tell you about the corporate secure communication system and cyber range platform.
Great. And I'll move with my colleagues from Distilogics. So Nadir?
Hello, I'm Nadir Muammar from Distilogics. I'm a business development manager based at the region of North Africa, and I'm glad to be here today. Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Nadir. So Aisha?
Hello, everyone, and hello to any of the new joiners to our webinars and to the ones who have already previously joined us. I hope this time you are lucky to win the Apple Watch. Wishing you all the best luck. Yeah, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Aisha, and I am with the business development team. I'm based in Dubai, and I am happy to support any of you if you have any questions or anything needed from our team. So yeah, enjoy today's webinar.
Okay, thank you, Aisha. And to our new great addition in Distilogics, Mr. Soman.
Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Suman Goswami. I am responsible for business development in Middle East and African countries. So hopefully we will have a great webinar session today. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thank you so much, Suman. Thank you, everyone. So before I pass it to Mr. Joseph, so we said that the webinar today starts with something called corporate secure communication. And you may wonder, okay, what is that? What is corporate secure communication? If you want to know how important that is, you should Google right now the largest bank in the world, which is Morgan Stanley Bank. Morgan Stanley Bank today fines employees. So if you're an employee of Morgan Stanley, you could have a fine of $1 million from your employer if you use WhatsApp for to communicate work-related stuff. It could be a text message, sending a file, or anything. Corporate secure communication is the secure alternative for corporates to avoid being exposed to WhatsApp servers and to all marketing companies that use WhatsApp and use WhatsApp data. So it is as big as that Morgan Stanley, if you work for them today, they will fine you $1 million if you use WhatsApp to communicate or for collaboration with other employees in the organization. It's a huge thing. Chase Bank lost $2 million in a hack like several years ago, and that was an outcome of, again, something related to instant messaging. So corporate secure communication is something that replaces that. The second topic is operational technology and industrial security. And we all know how big it is today. We all know how messed up it is today, because OT technologies such as sensors, in the manufacturing utilities and power plants and everything, sensors, valves, controllers, PLCs, and everything. Today, they get merged with IT and they have their own dashboards, so they are exposed to cyber risk exactly like any other IT or IoT devices. So it's a huge thing. Unfortunately, it's a messed up industry where everyone says that they do have a solution for that. So today we will explore it in further details. And then we will introduce such an elegant cybersecurity training platform, Cyber Range. It's called AMPIRE from Protelion, that helps you if you have a bank or you're like in the army or a huge government organization or universities. It helps you learn by simulating and mimicking your existing environments using their cloud virtual machines, so that you have a real-time attack and you check your defenders, your cybersecurity defenders, and their capability to be able to figure out the problem and fix it as soon as possible. I'm not going to take longer. I'll pass it to the professionals from Protelion, Mr. Joseph. So it's yours now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mott. So yeah, it's a great introduction about our unique technology, and I will share some information right now, what we're doing, why we're doing this, and why we're doing this in a different way than the existing companies you may work with them. So can you see my presentation?
We can see it. And guys,
Perfect.
If you have any questions, please, you can ask your questions using the Q&A tab or chat, whatever. And we will keep it as interactive as possible with Mr. Joseph and Mr. Pavel from time to time. Please post or add your questions in chat or in Q&A. Please, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, thank you. So as I mentioned, I will give you a short update. Why this is important that you have a new thinking right now? Because your clients, your customers have new requirements because they want to start or they move their business fast. So everyone is right now working in a hybrid environment. They're working on on-premise applications, they're working on cloud applications. In the past, they have only firewall in the perimeter and protects the complete infrastructure of the customer. This is not possible anymore because you have a user, they connecting with from different locations with different devices to your infrastructure. The global pandemic increased the number of home office workers here in Europe extremely. So you have unmanaged routers in their home office and the cyber criminals using this environment for hacking companies. So also your clients are using more and more collaboration tools like Microsoft 365, Zoom, Teams, Slack, you name it. And this is more and more attractive for cyber criminals to attack companies. For a company, this is important to mitigate the risk of a breach, increase the productivity of their users, and one important and most important thing that the technology you are offering must adapt by the end user to eliminate the shadow IT. This is the important part. And with our technology, it is possible to combine the existing technology that your client's using together with our technology to have a more secure product in place and protect the investment of your customers. So this is the key things about our technology, and I will start right now to give you an update why we're doing things and why we're doing things different than our competitors. So this is the everyday challenging you have with your customers. So the cyber attack starting in the morning in China, they have their lunch break from 12 to 1 and they end at the 5, and then all the attacks going around the world, and this is a big business. So you see here, this is a document from Cybersecurity Venture. So every day in 2021, they have the cost of the cyber attacks will be $16.4 billion US. And in 2021, this is the third largest economy in the world. It's cybercrime, behind US and China. You have more and more actors, like state actors. So as you see here, North Korea, they earn their money for all their military expenses. Mainly, it's 1.2 billion if they hack companies, stealing data and send ransom to get the crypto money back to invest in their infrastructure. I put in a one page here. This is a Metri attack matrix. Maybe you know this. You can have a look on that. And these attacks you see here are all real attacks. And they give you information about what the hacks is about, what they're using for attacking, like port scanning or something like that. And you also can have a look on the groups. So these are ATP groups normally, government sponsored groups, and they earn a lot of money with this cyber attacks all over the day. So the criminals using tools to attack companies like this one, maybe you know that, this is Shodan. You can have a look on that. I give you some examples how this work. So if you go in the search button and you give in Siemens S7. This is a company here in Germany. They developing PLC controllers. They're using this in airports, in power energy grids, in elevators, and so on. And this tool finds you in less than 1 minute, 864 controllers from Siemens you can connect immediately. And the problem there is the standard username and password of this controllers is admin and carriage return. And so you're in. If you don't change the credentials, it's easy for the cyber criminals to go inside your corporate network and hack your company. Maybe you're also working with camera systems. This is Dahua. This is a camera manufacturer in China. If you give in Dahua in this search engine finds you 1.2 million cameras you can connect immediately and install your software using these cameras worldwide, for example, for a tech like shutting down web servers or something like that. And also this is Hikvision, which is very popular in your country. This company, it's also from China. So they find 4.8 million of these devices. You can install software, can connect, so you can look in a private room and see what's going on. So this finds also one in Qatar in Doha, one camera. So you have the IP address, and normally the bad guys knowing the username and password to connect. So this is very easy for the cyber criminals to find the weak points in a company and to hack the companies. If they are inside the company, normally companies detect this after 146 days. So in Germany, they hacked a company, it's called Continental. They are one tier OEM supplier for Volkswagen, for Mercedes, for all the automotive manufacturer. And they stealing first the data and then they decrypt. And as Continental want not to pay the ransom, they published the internal documents on the darknet. And there are documents like internal calculation of all these OEMs, contracts, and all these things. So this was a big, big mess of this company, and they losing a lot of money with such an attack. So our approach is to have a zero trust security. So you can never trust anybody in your network because you never know if this person is this person it seems to be. And so you have this definitions about zero trust from Forrester and the NIST, the National Institute of Technology in the US, and they requested you to have other thinking about what is going on inside your network, not only to protect your perimeter with a firewall, you must check always permanent who is inside your network. Is this a person who seems to be, and you must track what he is doing. For example, one is the least privilege. So if you are working long time in a company, you have all these privileges from your previous job. This is not necessary anymore, for example, for your new job. And so you must track this permanent. And so you can avoid a lateral movement of the cyber criminals because they cannot connect to other network segments, for example, to install their malware. And this is also from Gartner, you need tools to doing that. One important tool is identity access management, of course, but also to protect the endpoint. On the endpoint, you can see, is a user starting an application? He's allowed to do that. He's starting a command line. If it is allowed to do that, yes or no. And so you can limit it. 80% of the cyber attacks you can eliminate if you use a multi-factor authentication. It's very easy to install. And with this easy functionality, if he starts an applications, he needs a second factor, you can eliminate 80% of the cyber attacks in the company. One other important part is micro-segmentation. So you segment your corporate infrastructure in different segments. So a lateral movement, as I told you before, is not possible. So we have these products in place to protect companies like next generation firewall technology, threat detection and response. We analyze permanence and behavior in a network, and we find, if we find an anomaly, so a user is logging in the night, normally working hours are from 8 to 5, so we can generate alarms, and then we can send these alarms to the SOC team so they can have a look on that. So this is a product portfolio we're offering. And today we will give you only 2 or 3 parts of our technology to see how we can protect the communication part, for example. So headquarters of Protelion is in Berlin. We have locations in Zurich and New York. Most important part is that we have also the certification with our technology from the NIST, National Institute of Standardization in the US. We have the certification of FIPS 140/1 and 140/2, as the same as our competitors like Cisco, Juniper, you name it. Most important part is also our partnership with the global players. So the most important in the mobile is Samsung. So my colleague Pavel will give you then an update about our secure enterprise messenger. And this was very close developed together with Samsung. We're using, for example, Samsung Knox to encrypt the data on the mobile. If you leave your mobile in the taxi, nobody can steal your data. This is a certification as I managed. So they have a look inside our software stack. They have no backdoors and all these things inside. And so this is a portfolio we will present you a little bit. So the key part of them is our software-defined VPN. We're doing this different than our competitors. I will give you this information. Then we focus today on our mobile applications. We developed this for Android and iOS and macOS and Windows, and Pavel will give you this information later. All our products are running either on hardware platform or on virtual environments. On hardware, we have a special product line also for government clients. It's an armored platform. So, for example, if somebody wants to open a box, our coordinator, all data are immediately destroyed on this box. So there are special requirements for government clients to have a special armed hardware available in the data center. So what makes us different? So this is the most important part of our technology. So normal standard applications in a VPN environment based on IPsec, SSL, TSL. This was developed in the 70s. This technology is more than 40 years old right now and has a lot of weak points. And we decided not to use the same. So we decided to use a technology based on so-called symmetric key technology. And this is a military grade standard. We're using, of course, for encryption IS-256. But what we're doing different is key management. And I will give you an update why we're doing that and why our technology cannot hack with the normal attack vectors like man-in-the-middle attack, for example. So also, as this technology, standard technology is very old, you find this software in the darknet. It's called Hammerstein. This was developed by the NSA in the US to stealing the key with a man-in-the-middle attack. Then they can record the communication. Afterwards, they can very easily decrypt the communication and see what's going on. This software is not anymore protected by the NSA. NSA get hacked, and this software is available on the darknet. And so there's a real issue right now in the network, because if you use asymmetric key technology, you cannot be sure that this will be protected. So this is a short video about how we're working. I'm not sure, can you hear the sound?
Joseph, to share the sound, you go to the top of the Zoom menu and you click on it. There is something called share.
Okay,
share
so
audio.
yeah, I don't know because it's not working. Okay, anyway, I will give you this link later. So what we're doing here or presenting about a short update about what we're doing different to the standard asymmetric key technology. And you see here that man-in-the-middle attacks coming out. So you connect a normal VPN, you need to exchange keys. So private public key, symmetric, they transmit it to the endpoints. And in the man-in-the-middle attack, you can steal the key and can record it the communication as I managed before. So we using pre-shared symmetric keys on the endpoint. And so we do not need for establish a secure communication a key over the network. And so man-in-the-middle attacks are not working on our technology. We're using such a management center to generate the keys for the endpoint. If they are installed, then we have a peer-to-peer protected channel end-to-end encrypted with our technology. So we're using such a product like a management center to generate the keys, adding new clients to this network, and distribute also the keys to the endpoints in a very easy way. So I will give you this link later for the it's on YouTube, so you can see. So
I want to add something here, guys. This is the biggest thing that Protelion has, which is they lead the symmetric key encryption, not asymmetric key, which is used by IPsec or AES or all GRE, all of the old technologies, the technologies from the 70s. Today, with quantum computing power, you can decrypt any IP VPN SIG tunnel, any GRE tunnel, any ESE encryption, AES encryption in less than 20 minutes and 20 to 30 minutes, you can decrypt that. And with that, how much time piece of software, which was developed by NSA and now it's in the dark web, you can decrypt anything. With symmetric key encryption, it's an absolutely different story. And Joseph will continue on that. Yes.
Perfect. So as we develop this symmetric key technology, as I mentioned, it's military grade technology. We do not use to have a public key infrastructure or an internet key exchange for that. We don't need to have certificates. Maybe you're familiar with the last hack on Apple devices. They're using an original certificate for that hack from the developers. So we don't need to have that. As Mr. Mott mentioned, quantum computer can break every asymmetric key with the show algorithm. They cannot break symmetric keys like we using that. And so we have an advantage of this technology. So in Germany, if you want to keep a secret from now, more than 6 years is not allowed to use RSA technology anymore to encrypt this. So it's forbidden from the government in Germany because they know the quantum computer get more and more power and it's easy for the bad guys to decrypt this information. So the important part is that you do not need to have a modification on your applications with our technology. So if you want to download an app from Google or Apple Store, you can use it. Then you download our app from Google or Apple Store. And with this combination, you can have an end-to-end encryption channel to your server infrastructure, for example, in your environments. How this works, I will give you a little bit later this information. So software is available on all standard operating systems like iOS, Android, macOS, Windows, Linux devices you will see later. So this is a technology you're familiar with. This is, as I mentioned, developed in the 70s. At this time, you have no iPhone. So to establish a communication link, you must exchange private public keys. If you establish the link and exchange the keys, then you use the same key for the whole communication. If somebody man in the middle stealing the key, they can record it. With our technology, every package we send out from such a client, we use a different key for encryption. So if one package get intercepts, the next is not possible. With this old technology, you have always the gateway in place in the corporate side. This is a bottleneck. So all communication, secure communication must go through this bottleneck. So if you need more performance, you must exchange this. This is not necessary with our technology. And also one weak point is you do not protect the communication inside the corporate network. So maybe you know Mr. Snowden, he was a guy in the NSA. He's not trying to hack the NSA from outside. And he using this unprotected information inside the corporate network. So with our technology, we're working different. If the connection is broken or you use going out from Wi-Fi or from to LTE network, you change the networks, you always must do to reconnect again and establish the key exchange and all these things. So this is no longer state of the art. And with our technology, we're working different, as I mentioned. So let me say you see sitting here in Germany in a hotel room, you get an IP address on your mobile device, for example. Then one package of this device is sent to a server inside your company, either on a hardware or on a virtual appliance. And only one package is sent with your actual IP address. And this server sends to all buddies you want to communicate or secure channel this information. And so with this update, always if the IP address is changing, either you go out from your office to an LTE network, you get a new IP address, or if you travel by car and so you use a new mobile cell with a new IP address, we always knew exactly in point of time what is your endpoint IP address. And so we communicate peer-to-peer, end-to-end encrypted. So we don't need, as you saw in the previous slide, a gateway. So all communication must go through this gateway. And also, if you install software on the endpoint in your corporate network, we also encrypt the communication until the server side or the application our software is running on. One most important part of our technology is also if you want to connect to such industry devices in the corporate network. With this old technology, you must always open ports in the firewall. And if the guys forgetting to close the port, so the bad guys can do a port scan, they figure weak point. With our technology, it's not necessary that you open ports in the firewall. We're using as a transport UDP. And in a UDP package, we encrypt a TCP/IP package. So we have a very, very low latency because you use transport on layer 2. And if you're using our technology on a mobile device, you have a very, very clear voice communication regarding our low latency. And also if you make video conferencing via your mobile, you have a very, very good performance on that. We are not limited on the network side. We can use this technology also via satellite. With satellite, you have the challenging that to send up a package and down a package from a satellite, you have a latency. Our technology is working well. Other technology based on IPsec technology are not doing this well because they have problems with the latency sending up to the satellite. So this is how our technology is working a little bit. Do you have any questions right now about how this works and what we're doing different to the standard technology you are familiar with? Any questions about that technology? Because right now I will give you some examples.
I think there was a question from Mr. Kappel. He asked about providing a link for certification, the certifications later on. We can provide them by email later on, Kappel.
Yeah.
Yes.
I send you also the presentation. You see the link inside.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not sure if there's someone was raising his hand or her hand. So yes, there is a question here from Mr. Mukhtar. So what devices I need to use Protelion VPN on? Like whether I can give you an idea, like a quick idea. You can use the Protelion VPN for different use cases. So if you want to protect your communication on mobile devices, like for secret services or anything, you can use the hardened devices, Samsung or anything. Protelion will be hardening those phones for you. Or you can use the secure communication app, which you can download from the App Store. and so that you make sure that it's a secure replacement for WhatsApp. And as I said to you guys, if you don't know how risky using WhatsApp in corporate communication, just Google now, right now, Google, where it shows the Morgan Stanley bank fining or giving fines to their employees of $1 million. If you work, Mr. Mukhtar, with Morgan Stanley, you have to be a rich man to pay $1 million as a fine for using WhatsApp. So that's an option. You can use it on laptops, for example, like Windows, and for endpoints, not only the mobile phones. It can be used, that Protelion symmetric key encryption can be used also to protect industrial devices, drones, any kind of communication where if someone gets to decrypt that communication, it will be risky. That will be too much of a risk, like to put down drones or put down power plants, even like for VIPs in a state, like presidents and communication related to them. It's used to protect their communication so no one can spy on their calls and stuff like that. Mudassar is asking, Mr. Joseph, what happens when the key is lost? That's a good question.
So you can define that the key can be new generated because you have the secure channel, and you define that. So this is very easy to do. So you say, okay, key should change. It's a mouse click, and my colleague Pavel will give you a short update about how the tool is working. So it's very easy to do. If somebody is missing his phone, you can eliminate from the secure group this guy, so nobody can use his information or his device to communicate on a secure channel. So Pavel will give you this information in a short time.
Yeah, simply, Mudassar, with this technology, symmetric key technology, you can configure that the key can be changed every 10 seconds, even every 10 seconds, because it's a true peer-to-peer encryption. Not like what WhatsApp says to you. They say that we give you end-to-end encryption, and they don't say that their servers are in the middle, sitting, watching all of your encrypted data. It's a true peer-to-peer encryption, and you can change the key every 10 seconds if you want, like literally every 10 seconds. You don't care because you don't have to establish, all of those like exchanges of private and public key, the PKI stuff, and you don't need a certificate authority. You just get the key, and from the first packet, whether it's a call or a text message that goes out of your phone, it will go encrypted to the other phone or to the other device.
And you also, so if you change or you drive with your car, you have always a new connecting to a new cell with a new IP address. So you cannot, so with this technology, if this device gets a new IP address, the first package is out and encrypted. So it's a very, very low latency technology, because we don't need to have this overhead about new negotiation of the keys and all these things. So first package is going out is encrypted if you have a new IP address.
Correct. And we have a question that says, can I use Protelion on my existing hardware, like router or firewall?
Yeah, so you install a piece of software in your infrastructure. So we are combining the existing infrastructure because this is necessary to protect the investment, because you invest a lot of money, and we can combine both technologies. We have banks, for example, they're using asymmetric key technology. We install in a virtual environment a so-called gateway, and so we can move the asymmetric technology to a symmetric technology from us. If you have high secure requirements, you cannot protect by asymmetric. So this is very easy to do, and we are always try to protect the investment, because you invest a lot of money, and with our technology you can combine both technologies very easy. Okay, so any other questions right now, or it is clear?
Yeah, there are like a few more questions, 3 more questions. I think Aisha will be taking those questions.
Yes, sure. So how, another question, how this can be used with cloud SaaS providers such as Oracle and Azure?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I will go. We developed this for also hyperscalers. Of course, you can use it in Azure, in Microsoft technology, and AWS, and also Google. Because the world is changing, so 50% of your traffic is going to the cloud right now. You have no the infrastructure on site anymore. Another question?
Do we need special hardware to implement symmetric VPN?
You can use it from our side, special hardware devices, but also all our products are available in virtual environments like VMware, Hyper-V from Microsoft, KVM. So government clients want to have a bare metal. As I mentioned before, we have a special armored device for them to protect if somebody wants to steal that or try to open the box, all data are immediately deleted. But it's not necessary. But you can, for government clients, it's necessary, but you can also install it, the technology, on virtual environments. So it's very easy to do.
I think the other question is similar. Can we have a hardware pre-installed with Protelion?
Yes, you can order that if you want, and we can set up also first a trial inside your company, or if you want. And so yeah, we can discuss with Mr. Mott, and so we can organize that.
What is the key difference between your technology and firewall technologies?
Firewall protect your environment, so they're tracking IP addresses, they're looking for websites, they are known for command and control and so on. This is antivirus is also running sometimes in the firewall to protect them. What we're doing, we are implement a secure channel from people using their secure channel on a mobile device, on a Windows, traveling around the world. They need to have a secure channel to communicate with the environment of their company. So we protect the channel, and then of course you have a firewall inside your company. But what I told you before, if somebody steal your credentials, they are behind the firewall, and then you must track their behavior inside the network, and then you can use technology like endpoint protection to do that. What we're doing, for example, also with a two-factor authentication, we protect the channel communication from outside, anywhere in the world, to your company side.
I think we can proceed.
Okay. Okay, so let's go forward. So we developed this as a product, as I mentioned, for government. It's installed on premise in their data center, so police, secret services, military. And we also have a cloud-based solution you can use. As I mentioned, we supporting the software in the software version or also hardware as bare metal, and we supporting at the endpoints all standard operating systems you knowing. So how it works, as I mentioned before, you can protect any applications you're using right now in your environment with our technology. So you download an app from Google or Apple, maybe a mail client. And with this mail client on your mobile, you want to connect to a server inside your company. So we check from this mail client you download from Google or Apple the IP address you want to communicate. If the IP address is in the secure network and we have the so-called symmetric key for the endpoint, we send out the encrypted data. If you start a browser on your mobile device and want to search as Google, we check that the Google IP address 8.8.8 is not in the secure network. Then for us is an unencrypted traffic. We do not encrypt it and send it out. So this is very confident, very good for the user, because he must not thinking about what applications I must start right now. All on our operating systems are using the same technology. So if you're using a Windows, if you're using Mac OS, if you're using iOS, Android, you have always the same software installed, and you don't need to thinking about which applications I must right now start to communicate on a secure channel. This is not necessary, and we do not give you a library to integrate it in your applications. You can use your existing applications as it is and communicate on a secure channel with our technology. So this was a question before, do we supporting the hyperscaler? Yes, of course we do. You can download from Azure, for example, our coordinator, installing at the Amazon website, and then you have a secure end-to-end channel to the hyperscaler. We have customers, they calculate the money of the time of the CPU they must to pay. And so sometimes they switch very easy from one hyperscaler to another. And with our technology, it's only necessary to change the IP address. And then you can connect to the next hyperscaler. So it's very easy and very comfortable for the companies using that. One important thing also is we're using so-called virtual IP address. So if you have a huge home office clients, they always coming with the same IP address. For example, in Germany, a popular router in the home office is Fritzbox. They always have the same IP address, 192.NNN. And so you have normally IP address conflicts in your network. As we're using virtual IP addresses, we do not have IP address conflicts in the network. So it's also one advantage of our technology. So then I will switch over to my colleague Pavel to give you the update about our secure messenger. Pavel, so I stop here, I think.
Okay, give me a second, I'll share my screen.
Sorry, Joseph, just before we proceed, there is an answer from an anonymous attendee. He would like to know how old is the technology and how was it tested before for vulnerabilities?
So yeah, as I mentioned, we have this certification for FIPS. This is a NIST organization in the US, National Institute of Technology, and we have this certification. We have, for example, here in Germany, the WELMEC certification. This is for Physical Technical Institute. So if they use our technology for industry environments, we have this WELMEC certificate for our technology, and so we have this official things that we have no backdoors, because you must give all the details of the software to a certification institute. They will check, and then you get this certificate for this government institution, for example, for NIST.
They wanted to know how old is the VPN technology?
It's about 20 years. Okay. It's for normally used for military.
I think that's answered that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Pavel, you can proceed, please.
Okay, so I guess this is the right one. So can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. So, gentlemen, today I'd like to provide you a presentation regarding corporate secure communication system. And what it's all about, actually. This is a ready-made platform for secure communications with the ability to separate the contours of protected information and level of protection for user data inside the system. Protelion SES ecosystem combine the next products. First of all, these components of Protelion VPN networks. As already Joseph mentioned, it's a VPN clients, security gateways, and the main component is secure management system. And the second part of ecosystem is a Protelion Enterprise Messenger. So this is our secure corporate messenger. And the third part of new solution is a secure mobile platform named Protelion AR Mobile, so-called Armored. I'll explain this product as well at the next slides. And fourth part of Protelion ecosystem is secure hardware phone, Protelion phone. So this hardware appliance with functionality of phone calling and messaging using Protelion Enterprise Messenger infrastructure. So in the next slides, I'll describe in detail all parts of communication system solution. But first, let's start from the advantages of Protelion technology, and I bet that Joseph already mentioned some of them. So first of all, it's symmetric cryptography, and this feature gives us an ability to create true point-to-point VPN connections. Protelion VPN provides possibility to transmit IP packets from one point to another point directly without intermediary servers. The second is our products possible to connect using any type of networks such as Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, 5G, or even satellite, with or without network address translation. The third advantage is our VPN is non-sessional VPN. So this feature gives us a very good advantage working using bad quality IP channels for transmitting data. We don't need to handshake with the server. First IP packet contains a payload, and we don't need to use the time and traffic to make a handshake. And this works really good on IP channels with bad quality. And fourth is Protelion products contain centralized update system to manage all parameters of each components using one place and one person. Public messengers are commonplace in corporate communications. Messaging apps are easy to work with on any mobile devices and desktop computers. Security infrastructure behind the public messengers, however, cannot be fully trusted. And one does not have to wonder who and how controls the security infrastructure when it can be done internally by the company. So Protelion Enterprise Messenger an alternative to such apps and allows corporate users to communicate securely due to its security infrastructure entirely controlled by the company. So all the components, all the management components, core infrastructure will be located on the customer side. Protelion Enterprise Messenger supports voice and video calls, texting, file sharing on desktop computers, laptops, and mobile devices. So all data is encrypted and transferred bypassing intermediary servers. You can also put the call on hold without hanging up, receive GSM calls, disable speakers, send the message during your call, and so on and so forth. Protelion Enterprise Messenger address book is managed by the administrator, thus excluding an unintentional information leak. So an unauthorized administrator manages the Protelion Enterprise Messenger address book, and therefore it contains only verified contacts. And it could be done by the management platform, security management system. So point-to-point encryption means that Protelion Enterprise Messenger users exchange encrypted traffic directly. So since no routing server is required, there is no need to ensure a high-speed channel for it. Voice traffic or texting requires no intermediary servers to store or decrypt data. This eliminates the third-party access, a threat, or man-in-the-middle attack. Thanks to its non-essential session VPN nature, Protelion technology introduced high-quality communication even in poor and unstable channels. So communication persists when Protelion apps have to switch between communication channels and mobile providers. Session VPN technologies such as IPsec cannot provide similar quality. They need to establish new session each time the connection breaks. And while the session is being established, data transfer is suspended. The Protelion technology does not have this drawback. IP packets are transferred immediately without waiting for the session to be established. You can install Protelion Enterprise Messenger and Protelion VPN on devices running iOS, Android, Windows, macOS, and Linux operating systems. And you can download Protelion Enterprise Messenger and VPN from public app stores, such as like Google Play Market or App Store, or you can use internet portals and just sharing these files with your team. Protelion Enterprise Messenger is available in English and German languages, and it's possible to translate to any required language. And in addition to working within a secure area and communicating with the other Protelion users, Protelion Enterprise Messenger also allows you to establish secure connections to the corporate SIP servers and voice IP systems. Thus, you expand your corporate communications and can use the previously purchased voice IP systems or even video conferencing systems. The next feature of Protelion Enterprise Messenger and Protelion VPN is possibility to divide users into different groups depending on the status of the users. So we can assume that you have many different departments within your company and you'd like to divide these departments between each other. You can do it based on the management software provided by Protelion. Protelion Enterprise Messenger could be installed not only on smartphones or workstations, it's also available in the form factor of landline phone. We mainly use GrandStream for this purpose, and which together with the integration capabilities with the corporate SIP servers allows you to replace fixed IP phones with it and ensure the confidentiality of negotiations. Such kind of phones allows you to establish voice and video calls, also video voice conferencing, chats, and even group chats. So do you have any questions so far before I move forward with the Protelion AR mobile phone?
There is one question that talks. Yeah, go ahead, Nadir. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. So there is only one question from Mr. Muhammad Mudassar. I would like to know how can one protect himself from the insider risks?
Regarding cyber risks.
Sorry, insider risks, people. I think he means if someone who have the asymmetric key is like he decides to leak information.
Yes,
I think
I can address this a bit.
Thank you.
What happens is that when you install the system to start with, the first thing you do is that you configure people. So no one that's not configured can have access. That's one. Second, even people that are configured, you have to allow their phones. So let's say you configure me as one user, then you say, I'm allowed to use this Samsung phone or this Apple phone or this Windows workstation. If I have other devices, I cannot put them in that network and hence I cannot communicate. That's one. Second, the shared key will be decided upon groups. So you can have the organization divided into departments. And when, let's say you create an IT department in that organization, and there are 3 people in the IT department, those 3 people will only be able to see people within that department. They don't even know that someone exists outside that department, like in the finance or whatever other departments. Third, you can configure communication one way instead of 2 ways. So for example, if I'm the president or I'm the boss or whatever, and then I have one team member, you can allow me to communicate with him, but you don't allow him to communicate with me. It's a one-way communication, so that no one can call me or reach even my phone, but I can reach them. So there is a way to configure one-way communication from like my landline, or from my mobile phone, or from my laptop, or anything else. There are different ways of doing that. The system provides the least access possible, with the least privileges possible, and with zero trust in mind, even for insider threats. It's configured. Like if you get the armored phone that Pavel is showing us now, armored phone is where you get the phone from Protelion that is so shrinked, operating system is shrinked, no needed daemon running, cannot be tracked, cannot be, even if it falls from you, like someone physically attacks you and they try to steal your phone from you, if it falls, it will wipe out itself by itself. If someone tries to break the phone, it wipes out itself by itself. So there are like multiple levels to control that, control that kind of access. The last thing, which is the crown jewel of what Protelion has, the crown jewel. When two devices are connected, like me and Pavel, we're added in one department, and my phone is configured to connect to his phone. That's it. I cannot connect to his laptop. When we're connecting, because of the symmetric key encryption, which no one else has, even the admin himself cannot intercept that. And that's a great question. That reduces a major risk from insiders, even the admin himself. And that's a great question to ask if you're evaluating a corporate secure communication platform. Ask them, if something happens, can the admin interfere and fix that communication? If the answer is yes, that's a disaster. Because if admin can get into your call or get into your configuration or your phone, then that's a disaster. If someone else breaks his, manages to break through and get his access privileges, then he will be able to do so. And that's a big insider risk. The communication between the two ends is a true peer-to-peer. It doesn't go through Protelion servers, doesn't go through your corporate server, it doesn't go through any device. It goes truly from my phone to his phone, or my laptop to his phone, nothing else. And this kills a major vector when it comes to insider threats or privilege escalation. So even if someone manages to get the access privileges of the top admin in the organization, he still cannot do anything with the communication. He cannot do anything with the communication. So I hope this answers your question. Yeah.
We have a couple of more questions. One of them is, can this be integrated with Microsoft Teams?
Well, it's a good question, actually. We didn't try to do it, but somehow we can manage it. The main idea here is to, if it's possible, to have Microsoft Teams on-premise within your organization. So do not use some like Office 365 or something like that, but use on-premise products. We can place these products behind the security gateway and provide a protected access to these products, to these solutions. And that's how we can establish protected communication via these products. So if we're talking about on-premise solutions, yes, it's possible. If we're talking about some kind of what do you have in the cloud, I mean, from the provider, from Microsoft, it will be always a tricky question, because how you will be able to guarantee that your communication are protected. So based on our technology and what we are looking for, always we are placing everything inside the corporate network. And even we as a vendor, we cannot get access to your network. Yeah. So, and we recommend to all our customers, if they'd like to use some kind of voice IP systems, video conferencing systems, for example, don't use WebEx as from Cisco, I mean from the portal, yeah, from the public portal, because you can guarantee the protection of the data that is transmitted. But if you have everything on your side in your data center and it's protected by our solution, it will be definitely protected.
One of the big use cases is to protect local exchange servers. So
Yep.
if it's a local exchange, that's a great use case of this technology. Yeah.
Yeah, so the same idea, yeah. So you place the exchange server behind the security gateway, deploy the applications on your devices, Outlook, for example, yeah. And all the communication through the exchange server will go through the protected channel based on Protelion VPN. Okay.
Okay. Can we answer one more question before we move on, Pavel?
For sure.
Okay. So Mr. Mohammed would like to know, can SCS integrated with SIP via IP telephony also does it integrate with Office 365?
With SIP, with PBX voice IP communication systems, I can provide you one example from our customer who had 8 different voice IP communication systems. So it was like free PBX, it was something from Cisco, it was something from Asterisk, and the rest of the vendors that you can just imagine on the market. So they have all of them in their corporate network. And the idea was that the the boss of the company, he had like 8 different phones, I mean landline phones, physical phones on his table. And when he needs to call to somebody from the first network, he pick up the first phone. From the second network, he pick up the second phone, and etc. So, and when we came, we said, you know, we got more like flexible solution for you. Based on our product, we can integrate all these 8 different communication systems, all these voice IP communication systems in one solution, that you need only one smartphone to call to all these networks. So you don't need anymore these 8 landline phones, these physical phones on your table. You just can have in your pocket one protected phone, and you'll be able to connect to all this voice IP communication system. How we did it? So we put behind the security gateway free PBX system asterisk, and establish a connection between this asterisk and all the systems, and just put the configurations on our system on the phones, and then the person, by using the enterprise messenger, start to communicate with all the phones within his network by using only one product, enterprise messenger. Regarding Office 365, we had a project, and maybe Joseph tell you more about it because he was involved in it. We filtered the data based on the X firewall, the next generation firewall, and we can provide you some more details about it, some topologies and description, how we can do it with Office 365.
So yes, so customers, they hosting for their clients Microsoft Office, and what we installing in the data center, for example, on a service provider, 2 of our products like Next Generation X Firewall and our secure communication product coordinator. And so we using this infrastructure to protect the communication to the service provider, and from the service provider to Microsoft Office 365, there is an unprotected channel. And so we can filter bad IP addresses and all these things. So we can give you a detail or a schema after the presentation if you're interested in how we can protect also MS 365 or any SAP cloud infrastructure and so on. So we will can send you this information, no problem.
Okay.
There are like a couple of questions about the healthcare industry, but let's proceed a bit, then we address the other questions later on. Mr. Imad, just bear with us for a minute, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
So let's proceed. Regarding the Protelion AR Mobile, and what is AR Mobile? This secure and private smartphone for corporate customers and governments with a custom built-in Protelion operating system. It's a powerful device with physical surveillance and remote access protection. Only verified applications could be installed directly to the phone or through Protelion Store that will be deployed on the customer side. Protelion AR Mobile contains VPN Enterprise Messenger software that gives you a perfect opportunity to have protected business calls and chats within your team, integrated machine learning algorithms, and possible customization in accordance with the unique customer needs. And in addition to that, we currently finalize the development of Protelion MDM system for such kind of devices that helps remotely control and configure Protelion AR mobile devices. We support different types and models of Google Pixel. So we mainly focused on the Google Pixel models, and it's 5, 5A, 6, 6A, and 7 and 8 models will be also supported. And why we actually we have chosen Pixel smartphones. First of all, it's guaranteed 5 years of security updates from the Google. And I'm talking about the Android operating system and security updates. And also, the second reason is a discrete security chip Titan M2. So it's a hardware acceleration of IS and SHA crypto algorithms, supports Android Strongbox for securely generates and stores keys to protect pins and passwords, works hand in hand with the Google Tensor security core to protect user data keys while in use in a SOC, I mean system on a chip, and also protection against unlocking the bootloader and roll back to the older operating system version. So Protelion OS is developed to provide the highest level of privacy and security while using smartphones for communications. We've created Protelion OS based on the Graphene OS. Maybe you're familiar with this operating system. You basically with this operating system, you can change everything you want within the OS operating system, and you can leave what you need and get rid of some stuff that you don't need in your product. So security mechanisms include remote access protection, physical access protection, and surveillance protection, and telemetry services. Remote access protection protects from cyber attacks and products which use zero-day exploits and spyware like Pegasus, Predator, and etc. Protelion OS prohibiting untrusted applications from installing and running. Any application not signed by Protelion or the corporate client is not allowed to be installed and run on the devices. Restricted set of pre-installed software, only trusted and necessary open source applications are included in the firmware. Monitoring of new files on the disk and uncharacterized processes in the operating system. Development of a mechanism for monitoring new files and uncharacterized domestic processes. Also checksums of libraries, operating system components, development of mechanism for checking the checksums of the operating system libraries and components, checking operating system source code and pre-installed applications, introducing static analysis of operating system components and pre-installed application source code into production process, and the real-time kernel malware a signature scanner. Also, we included kernel level firewall and antivirus. So it's a lot, but based on these features and based on these possibilities of this product, we can assure you that it's a top-notch, and it's actually the most protected phone on the market right now. So, it's a main difference between your bring your own devices like iPhone or maybe Android, where you can simply put VPN Enterprise Messenger, and it will just protect the data in the transmission, so it will prevent the man-in-the-middle attack and etc. Here you have the absolutely protected device. So regarding the physical access protection, we disabled developer mode. So it's a remote option to enter a developer mode from the source codes. We remove it. Protection against reflashing from the recovery partition. So edit, update files, digital signature verification to recovery partition source code. Also, we locked, as I said, the bootloader. So available for Google Pixel family devices, prevents installation of modified recovery partition and reflashing, prevents access to the file system of smartphone while recovery mode. Also, we lock the original security settings. Sorry, we prevent changing the security settings you set during initialization process. We use encrypted drive. So data protection with LUKS crypto containers. So you cannot just simply connect to the device. I mean, some malicious user. Of course, you'll be able to do this, yeah, because you're a user of this device. But I mean, the malicious user will not be able to do this, and or even if they somehow will get access to the device, physical access, they will not be able to get some data from it, because all the data is encrypted by LUKS crypto containers. What about the surveillance protection? We use random MAC address for each Wi-Fi connection, permanent VPN option. So we deny any connection bypassing VPN. Complete rejection of Google services. So development of microG's own implementation of push notification services, and conversion of the Protelion Messenger application to an alternative push notification service. So as you know, when you're sending the message, first your phone send a wake-up call, then it send a push notification, and then it send a message. The push notifications goes through the public services, even they do not contain any available information, but anyhow, they send it, all the devices send it through the Apple cloud and through the Google cloud. We block this possibility, and we use microG to completely reject Google services. Also, removal of all tracking software components, detection and blocking of all calls to external services. Also, we use random MAC address for each Bluetooth connection. We can disable sensors such as NFC or adapters, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. And we use a paranoia mode. It's a software button for disabling the camera, microphone, adapters, sensors on the system level. So and this not all. So also we use only the products, as you can see. The software is verified applications that already pre-installed on the Protelion OS, and we have built them. We've created them from scratch from the source codes, and we assure that you don't have any kind of backdoors in such kind of product that you'll have on your device. But in accordance with your requirements, we can consider and check some particular application before it will be implemented to the operating system for your daily businesses. Also, as you can see, here is a topology how the Protelion AR mobile phone establish a connection to the public resources. So they do not go directly to the internet. They go through the protected network that is located on the customer side. So you can imagine that you have some kind of security gateway, some kind of filtration system, sandbox, sync, etc. And all the traffic to, for example, to LinkedIn will go through your protected network. Then, for example, next generation firewall will check, are you like allowed to go to LinkedIn, or you are not allowed to go to LinkedIn. If you're allowed, then the request go to the LinkedIn or to other public resources, and then the response will go back not directly to the phone, but it will go back to your infrastructure where you also have the filtration system. And before the response will go to the end user to the Protelion AR mobile, it will be filtered within your premises. And if no viruses, no malicious activities, no malware contained in this like response, then it will be forwarded back to the Protelion AR mobile. So as you can see, the communication between devices is protected. Connection to the public resources is protected and will be filtered, and also the devices itself is absolutely protected. Regarding the secure corporate messaging, so as I said, we have on these devices same software like the Protelion VPN, Protelion Enterprise Messenger with all the features that it provides to you. And also on device and real monitoring by the machine learning algorithm. So as you can see on device, we created the mechanisms that detect on the snatching a phone out of your hand. So if somebody is trying to grab your phone really hard, really fast, the phone could be locked, or the data from the phone could be deleted. So it depends on your preferences, it depends on your requirements. And also some data analysis for visualization in telemetry, Center of Security Department for monitoring an employee with the possibility of emergency remote blocking or erasing device. So the detection of some kind of malicious activity or running, somebody is trying to steal the phone from your hands or something like this. So also checking the allocation. If your phone located in some place where you never go, yeah. So, and also in addition to this, as I said, we're developing the MDM system, which will allow you remotely configure devices and do whatever you want with the devices. Okay, so I guess that's it for the Protelion AR mobile and the corporate communication solution. So do you have any questions?
There are a couple of questions, Pavel, around the from Mr. Imad. One of them is about, can we use the secure communication between companies and customers, or only within the organization? Can we connect with customers also?
You can connect with the customers also. For one of our partner, I've created the use case where you have, we used actually the third-party solution. We use Jitsi meeting for this purpose, just to show the partner that it's possible. They have like internal network with employees who use Protelion VPN and Protelion Enterprise Messenger for their daily business, for the communications, and like to invite to the protected meeting, yeah, to the secure meeting, some agents, some customers from a third party, from the other customers, and we place the GST meeting server behind the security gateway. So, and we establish like the video conferencing between the users, between the employees who have the Protelion VPN on their devices, and the administrator of the system is allowed to create the link, like public link, for the customers, and send it link to the customer to allow him to connect by using this link to this protected session. The communication between the employees protected based on the Protelion VPN, based on the symmetric encryption, the connection from the third party to this GTC meeting server is protected by using the SSL TLS, by asymmetric encryption. So in this case, it's like one use case how you can do this. Yeah. So if your customers don't want to install anything on their devices, you can use this kind of use case. If your customer is willing to install some kind of Protelion VPN on their devices to establish connection, protected communication with you, with your company. So within the security management center, you can create many different organizations. So first of all, like Joseph already explained, for your company, you will create your own organization with all the employees, devices, users, etc. And for a third party, for the customers who are willing to join your conference calls from time to time, and you allow them to do this, you can create within the security management center second organization, which will be absolutely separate from your organization. And you can manage for such kind of accounts, for contacts, different users and devices, and provide them symmetric keys. Yeah, so two options.
Great. And another question was also from Mr. Ahmad around, does the messenger replace or is an alternative to voice system? Yes, definitely. With this messenger, you don't need Skype, you don't need, I don't know, Teams or all of the normal traditional or legacy systems for communication. So it replaces all of them. You can do texting, file sharing, group calls, video calls, audio calls. It's 100% replacement to any call system that you can think about. Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
Great.
So gentlemen, if you don't mind, I can show you a small demo for the enterprise messenger. Just give me a second. Somehow start my video. I don't know. I decided to do it that way because I don't know. I thought that it will be easier to show you how it works. So I got here on my table two phones. One is Samsung. The second one is iPhone. So on the iPhone, I have two applications since Protelion, VPN, and Enterprise Messenger, and same software I have here. You can see it on the screen. So Protelion VPN, and you can see that right now we are connected to the protected network on both devices. And what we can do, we can go to the Enterprise Messenger on both devices. And for example, I can send a message from one device to another one. Let it be test. Yep, we got it. Do you see it? Yeah. So the second is we can call from one device to another one. And you can see it on your screen. So I'll reject it on my phone. And also we can establish video calls from one device to another one. And, yeah, sorry. So, It's really loud. Let me do it again. Yeah, so as you can see, the connection is really rapid, and the quality of the video is really good. So at the same time, you can establish not only a video call, peer-to-peer video call between two devices. As I already mentioned, you can use some kind of third-party server to establish a video conferencing between devices on your device. So, okay. Any other questions?
There are questions around, like, can we do group calling? Can we share screens? Can we share files and content?
Yes, we can share the files. Regarding the share screens, it's possible also based on the third-party products. So it's not a functionality of the VPN or enterprise messenger, but it's possible share the screen within the protected channel. Yep.
Do we have a personal version for Messenger? The answer is no. Because this is not WhatsApp, and this is meant for secure communication. It's not WhatsApp. Sure. Good. I think we can proceed, yes.
Okay, so the next, I would like to share with you the demo of the CyberRange platform. Give me a few seconds. I will prepare everything. So okay. So CyberRange, it's a comprehensive solution that contains different kind of products that were developed by Protelion and some third-party software that is vital to organize training process. So training is it's really vital in our days. It's really difficult to find good specialists within cyber realm and invite them to the company, or it's pretty expensive, but you can train them by yourself. And this platform allows you to do this. So basically, this is a physical appliance in the rack that has built-in VMware virtualization system, and based on our products, based on Kali Linux, based on other software that is installed on the server, we can establish and can provide the trainings for the specialists within your company. So it can be deployed on premise on your side, or maybe somewhere in the cloud or in your data center. So it depends also on the customer requirements. So let's start from the main screen of the trainer, of the teacher. Here you can see the dashboard, and which allows the trainer to see the main scope of information about how many templates are contained with the CyberRange platform, how many trainings has been provided to the students, how many scenarios does platform contain, how many active trainings do we have right now on the platform, and below you can see some more detailed information about provided trainings. So to provide trainings, you have to have this platform, you have to have some kind of person who will be able to manage these training sessions. And before the trainings, for the students, the trainer, the teacher, creates the training itself. So all the materials, all the documents regarding some particular trainings will be sent to the students before the training itself. And then for each student will be created the personal account. So as you can see here right now, we have 3 students who will be able to attend on the training or in particular training. So one student will be in the monitoring team. The second one will be in response team group, and one will be the group leader of the group who will assign the tasks for the response team users. So CyberRange allows to create the profiles for the users, allows to put them in the groups. So it's also convenient when you have some group of the users who would like to attend and many different kind of trainings within this platform. So you don't need to like adding each user to the training. You just can use a group for this purpose. So also within this platform, we have like up to 60 different use cases and scenarios in which the students will take a part and train themselves, know something new about cybersecurity, know something new about the malware, about the malicious users' activities, etc., and how to prevent them. We have some basic use cases, and also we have scenario configurator where you can select a template, where you can specify the type of intruder, the host types, and so on and so forth. So also the attack vector, the schema of attack. So you can manage it by yourself and create some unique training for your specialist to testify them, to train them, and check their knowledge within some particular cyber realm field. So as my colleague said previously, you can create you can train based on some kind of templates that is located on the server, or you can create your own network, or you can simulate your own network within the CyberRange platform and try to investigate where you have some kind of vulnerabilities, how to prevent some kind of attacks, and etc., based on some exact case. So, and also the templates and the scenarios. Here is a demo platform. So we have the enterprise network and one basic scenario that I would like to show you today. So let's go back then to the main screen and create the training. So the first things first, and trainer should create the training. Let it be, I don't know, live demo. And click next. Then we select the template. It will be enterprise network, and select the use case. So it will be enterprise database defense. So, and let's choose the duration for this training. Let it be 90 minutes. And click next. Also here it is a part where we choose a group of the users who will attend on training. So first of all, we choose a leader of the group. Then we choose somebody from monitoring team who will investigate the investigation within the network, and also the defense team who will defend us, who will protect and resolve some issues within the network to make it more protected and secure. So, and let's create the training. So let's wait. It's in process. So, and it's ready to launch. So let's go to this dashboard of the training. So here you can see the main screen of the training with the general information about the training, with the duration of the training, and this is information about the vulnerabilities that only available and will be seen only by the trainer. So also you can see the list of the incidents and the resources which will be available within this training for the students. So it's some kind of remote desktop and sensor, IDS sensor that is located within this platform. So let's start the training. And as you can see, the training started. And let's go to the next screen. This is the main screen of the monitoring team. And let's go to the dashboard, and as you can see here is the same screen as we have for the trainer, but the people who attend the training, they do not see the names of the vulnerabilities, so they do not have a clue what they should prevent within such kind of use case. But based on the materials that will be provided by the trainer, by the company, they will know what exactly they should do. Okay, so let's go to the IDS network sensor, to the Sconion, and let's connect it. We don't have certificates here, so let's proceed it like this way. So, and then go to security onion. So first of all, when the training started, all the instructions provided to the students, they monitoring team students should identify what is happening within the network. For this purpose, they have the network sensor. Let me enter the credentials. So I bet it should be like this. Well, let's wait a bit. Okay. So we can use this form, or we can go to another one. Just give me a second. Or we can use this. So you can, as you can see, you have many different tools how you can investigate what is happening within network. So students go to the summary menu, for example, here, and they can see straight away that somebody from the public resources trying to get into their network. So we have some scan of the potential ports, open ports in network, and also we have, for example, these kind of malicious activities, Drupal Gidon. So somebody is trying to use a web server to get administrative privilege to create the user with administrative privileges and get access to the network and to the internal enterprise database. So based on this information, student from monitoring team can create the incident that will be automatically sent to all the users, to all the students who is attending in the training process. So let it be like Drupal Gidon attack, date of incident, it will be 5/2023, affected hosts. Let's see what is hosts been affected by these malicious activities: 10.10.1.21 and 10.1.21. Source network sensor. Sorry, so some kind of some kind of public IP address, 185.185.58, 181.55, 181.55. So in the description, we can also place Drupal Guidon attack. Please check web server, and all this information could be placed to the documentation, to the instructions for the students before their training. And Drupal Guidon attack, yes, recommendation, please check web server and click save. Then let's go back to the trainer. And as we can see, we have one new incident that has been created by the monitoring team group. And the trainer can read everything, all the information about the recommendations and description, etc., and he can score it. And for the users, it will be like a signal that it's something that they've chosen. It's pretty accurate, and they should follow the instructions and eliminate this vulnerability. So the next step, we go to the leader of the group, and leader of the group also within his dashboard can see some kind of incident, and this incident, he can choose a responsible person for this incident. So it will be a response user. Click save, and this information has been sent to the response team. In the response team, we have also the same dashboard, so where the users of the response team, they can see some kind of incident considered by the leader of the group, and they can look where they should connect and what they should check actually on the vulnerabilities. So they use in their favor, they use the remote desktop connection. So let me open this TSC to connect internally to the network and investigate what is happening. So 161, we're connecting to the platform, to some resource administrator desktop workstations that is located within this particular enterprise network. And so let's put the password and connect to this computer. So as you can see here, also the users have the template of the topology, and you can see here that you have all this, for example, security onion, the tool that we use to identify the threat. And also right now we are trying to identify what is happening with this web server and who is trying to attack it, and we will try to eliminate this threat. So let's go back to the administrator computer, and here for the students will see all the credentials and the hosts that we have within this particular enterprise topology. And let's connect to this particular web server, and let's log in. So we have the admin and this password. So the user from response team checked the incident, checked all the recommendations. He also checked that the portal was created on the Drupal Guidon attack, Drupal Guidon, sorry, engine, and now we should prevent the attack that we have, the vulnerability that we have in our network. So let's log in, and then we should go to the, just give me a second, to the configuration. I guess, to the account settings. So the Drupal get on attack is main idea is that any visitors who's trying to get access to this web portal, they able to create the new user with administrator privileges. And somebody who had deployed this portal forget about it to close this ability to anybody from the public network. So now we're going to do this. We choose that administrators only can do this, can create the users and get access to this portal. And now the configuration option have been saved, and we can go to the main dashboard and check that a vulnerability has been prevented by the students. So this is how it works. So you have many teams, you have students, you have the task, and you have the platform where they can train based on their best abilities, their knowledge, and instructions provided by the trainer.
Yeah, if you allow me to add something here, guys, you've
Please.
seen the topology that Pavel has shown us. This is something that you can configure to match your organization. So for example, if you have a complex organization, you can match it here because you want your employees or students or whoever to learn and be ready to respond to attacks, to avoid, you don't want them when the real attack happens to just try to figure out what happens. No, you create scenarios for them, and there is like multiple scenarios that go along with the MITRE ATT&CK framework. So the idea is to create a real, similar, a mimic of your environment that is as real as possible. And then you get your cybersecurity defenders tested every time by launching real-time attacks and see how they respond, how they monitor it, how they detect it, how they respond to it, how they close it, how they protect within the 90 minutes that you have given to them, or maybe 1 hour or 15 minutes. It's up to you as a trainer. And this is something that is related to continuous education. It's used by universities today and cybersecurity departments that train their students, because this is a real life scenario. It's not something that you read in books. Something that you have to go and investigate and topple and fix. Or it can be used by armies for their cybersecurity defenders, by banks, by anyone else. Yeah. I think, Mr. Muhammad Sharif, you have a question. Do you want me to allow you to talk? If you want to talk, I can allow you to talk. If you want to ask by audio, go ahead, please. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Until Mr. Sharif is back. So I'm not seeing any login. Mr. Osama Topji said, I'm not seeing any login steps like tokens or MFA while logged into other systems. How can Protelion solution help in adding such features to non-supportive systems like MFAs and stuff like that? These are all configurable, but I'll leave it to you, Pavel.
Yeah, as you said, it's all configurable, and we're talking about CyberRange right now. Yeah, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, so all the use cases, all the scenarios are configurable, depends on your preferences, depends on what type of threats, vulnerabilities you would like to train your people to prevent, to be able to prevent. Yeah, so it's just one example. And just show you how the platform works, but we can create something unique based in accordance with your requirements.
Great. If we're done, we're keeping the last 10 minutes for the online quiz game, for the fun part. But if you guys have any other questions to tackle, like quickly, we'll do that. If not, then we're ready to proceed with the fun part. Okay, so I think we're done with questions. Great. So it's today. Now we've reached to the last part. The last part is just an online quiz game. And with that quiz game, we will show 10 questions, and these questions come with 4 different answers. 1 of them is correct and 3 are incorrect. The way you participate in the game is by using a tool that is named Kahoot, K-A-H-O-O-T. And how it works, I'll be running a Kahoot game, online game, that has a unique PIN number. And from your side, you need to be able, on your monitor, to be able to see my questions while you will be answering the questions using your mobile phone. So you need to download the Kahoot app on your mobile device. And you can use your mobile device, the Kahoot app, to answer questions on spot. So you will see the question on the screen. You will be given different options. Like question 1, you have 4 options. Every one of these options has its own color. So there is green, red, yellow, blue. So if the correct answer is blue, you click on your mobile phone on the blue button, and this gives you this records that you have answered the question with the correct answer. Now, so the first thing you need to do is download the Kahoot app. When you download the Kahoot app on your mobile phone, there is nothing to do. It's a free app. You don't have to install anything. It looks like this, just a Kahoot app, say similar to this one. The moment you need to just click next, select that I'm a student, or use personal. Actually, you see the green choice, it says personal, just use a personal thing. And then you have to reach to point where you get ask maybe the questions about age and stuff like that. Like three next. So it will ask you about age and everything. Just select the easiest one, and you have to reach to the point where the Kahoot app runs on your phone, and you have to see these 4 squares at the bottom of the app screen. These colorful 4 squares are the ones that you use to log into the game and then be able to answer questions on the game. So you click on this and these four buttons, and as you can see, it's asking for a PIN number, which I will share now in a minute. So the sequence: please install the Kahoot app on your mobile phone. Go through it all the way until you reach to this screen where you see the 4 squares at the bottom of the screen, those colorful squares. And then click on it, wait for the PIN number. I'll be sharing the PIN number in a minute. So I'll just give you a minute or 2 to download the app, please, and get ready for the game. Please, and the chat, use the chat just to confirm that you're done already. I want to see how many people are ready for the game before I start it. We'll give everyone a minute or 2 to download the app and get ready. Once you're ready, please just type in chat that you're ready or done. Okay. So 1 minute of silence. Actually, while your guys are waiting, I'm going to share my screen and show you something quick while people are downloading the apps. Do you remember when I told you about the, where is it here? When I told you about the Morgan Stanley Bank? See it? Morgan Stanley Bank penalizes employees $1 million for WhatsApp. And as you can see, even New York Times has said something about it on January 26th this year. So you pay $1 million for using WhatsApp for company business. So impose a financial penalty on employees who use messaging platforms such as WhatsApp for company business, according whatever. Now, some of the largest organizations in our region, like I know a couple in Saudi Arabia, a couple in the UAE, some in Egypt, and some of the largest organizations today are deploying secure communication platform to avoid the challenges that come with WhatsApp. I wanted also to share some information today. Like I read this article from Khalij Times today, it was published today only. The UAE prevents, the UAE government, the cybersecurity, or the head of the Cybersecurity Council, Mr. Mohammed Al-Kuwaiti, the UAE stops 50,000 cyber attacks every day. They prevent 50,000 cyber attacks every day. You see how massive it is? We have more than 500,000 new malware and ransomware every single day that are being developed. It is really a difficult one. Al Arabiya Net, also the news magazine and TV channel in our region, also in January 2023, talked about 42 organizations. Though you can Google all of that. 42 organizations in our region, as you can see. Some of the largest organizations in our region that were compromised by cyber attacks in the last year, in 2022. And you can imagine those organizations, they spend millions of dollars every year to protect their infrastructure. It is just today, things are beyond imaginations. You need disruptive technologies to protect yourself. But I think we're ready. I've seen many people saying done. So I think we're ready to start the game. Let me launch the game again and start our Kahoot quiz. It's a quick one, 10 questions, 30 minutes, 30 seconds each. So it's not gonna be a difficult one. How you win is by answering correct, choosing the correct answer, but not only that, faster than anyone else. So it's a function of correct answer and being faster than anyone else. So I'm gonna share it and I hope you enjoy it. So here is the pin that we mentioned to you. So to join the game, you have to enter this pin, 311-5616. 311-56, yeah, I see people joining, that's great. 311-5616. Have a good number of participants. Great. So remind you, you have to select the correct answer by pressing the color that represents that correct answer. So if the question, the correct answer is green, you click on green, you're pressing green. That's how you choose the correct answer. And you need to be faster than everyone else. It's a function of time and correct answer. Now, you also, you make points. So but by answering questions as fast as possible, you collect points. And in the end, we will have the top 3 scores. The top 3 scores, people that scored the highest 3 will win prizes today. So we have Apple Watches for the top 3. I think people are joining. Wait for 10 more seconds. I don't want to wait longer. So I don't want to keep you long, guys. 10 more seconds. So we're starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Have fun. Good, so it's the Kahoot online exam for Protelion webinar. And where is the first question coming? Can symmetric point-to-point encryption technology, which Protelion is using, broken by quantum computing power? Can a quantum computer break or decrypt symmetric key point-to-point encryption? 15 seconds to go, half the way. Enjoy the Kahoot music. It always amazes me. Good job, guys. That's 25 people got the question correct, the answer correct. symmetric key encryption cannot be broken, cannot be decrypted using quantum computers that we have today. It's only shared and pre-shared between only two devices. The two devices can use it. Not even Protelion itself can enter that. So let's see, or intercept. Let's see what happened, and let's see who got in the top 3 scores. Mudassar, always, man, you're always good, buddy. Good to see you on the board. So we got Mudassar with 900 points, 166, Mohi and Jabber and Nuran. Okay, Osama, let's see what happens. Guys, we still have 9 more questions. They're easy. They all were covered during the presentations and demonstrations today. Next. What search engine can find easy unprotected IoT and industry control units, video cameras? What is the tool we use to get those hundreds of unprotected industrial devices that with their IP addresses, which we can use just to attack using standard usernames and password and admin privileges? 26 correct answer. Yes, it's Shodan.io, which Joseph showed us in the beginning of the presentation. Good job, guys. Good job. Very good rate of correct answers. Good job, Mudassar and Ahmed Wahid. Good to see you always, man. Jabir and Osama. Good to see the old names. Got very good players in our webinars. Next. Third question, do you need to open any port in the client's firewall to use Protelion VPN protection? Any kind, like, you know, with IPsec VPN, you need to open ports. Do you need that with symmetric key encryption and VPN with Protelion? Good job, guys. No, we don't need that. We use UDP to transport. We encapsulate TCP packets in UDP packets. So we use UDP. It's not IPsec VPN. It's not, you know, RSA or any of their algorithms. Let's see what happened to the score. Mudassar, you're amazing. And Mohi, Jabber, Osama. So guys, remember, we only had 3 winners. So Osama and Ahmed, you need to push, and everyone else gets charged. We still have time, have 5 more questions. Okay, Protelion VPN helps to apply defense in depth approach using the IEC 62443 standard. Through what? Is it through network segmentation only? Perimeter defense, network access control? With all of them? Great. Guys, you're paying attention to the demonstrations today, presentations. Yes, all of them. That's how Protelion achieves defense in depth. And they have deployed the defense in depth. Yes, good, Mudassar. Osama, happy to see you on the board. So we have Mudassar, Osama, and Jabber. We need to see everyone else charging. We still have more questions. So what operating system supports Protelion APP for secure messenger unified communication? So what operating system supports the app to download the secure communication app? Is it only the iOS, Windows, Android, all of them, including the Mac OS? Yes, all of them, including the Mac OS. So you can download and use the secure communication app for using all of these operating systems. Great job, Mudassar. But it's a close race, less than 20 points difference. Good. 6th question, can you make end-to-end protected calls from mobile phones to landline phones? Can we protect landline calls all the way to the landline call? With the last mile piece also encrypted within the organization premises? It was a bit tricky question. So the question was, guys, can we protect it all the way to the landline, we can protect it all the way to the landline from the mobile phone, through the gateway, through the local network of the organization, all the way to the landline, only if we can install the VPN client on that landline, like Grandstream IP phones. Like Cisco phones, usually they come with low resources, CPU and memory, so you cannot really install anything on them. But there are landline phones that can install the VPN client from Protelion. That's how you get all the protection all the way to the landline. But if the phone cannot install the app, then you can use the gateway, and the call will be protected from the mobile phone all the way to the gateway. But within the organization, within the network organization, it will not be protected. I know it was a tricky question, but that's good. That's the most difficult one, I guess. Oh, Mudassar, where did you go? Oh, no, an amazing job, man. It was amazing leap forward, huh? Next. What vendor does not support Protelion hardened phones? And remember, we're talking about hardened phones. Which vendor does not allow Protelion to change the configuration and shrink the operating system to protect the hardened phone? Yeah, 10 people got it right. It's Apple. Apple doesn't allow us to play with their phones. Everyone else allows us to change it and secure it and, block access, block developer mode, block factory reset, block tracking and everything. But Apple doesn't allow that. So the only hardware phone that cannot be used as a hardened phone by Protelion is Apple, but we can harden any other phone. Let's see what happened with the scores. Oh, Mudassar, not Mudassar, Muhammad Mukhtar, another leap. We see lots of jumps because it's a really close race, huh? Next question, for what organization could the cyber range training be useful? What kind of industries it is useful for? 5 seconds. Yeah, all of them great. It's for everyone. It's either for government, SOC operations, universities, like especially now we're getting requests from universities because they have the cybersecurity departments as independent discipline and independent degree. So that's what they use them for, to train their students there, but can be used by banks, all of the industries. Yeah. Let's see what happened to the score. Is there any other jump? No, Mukhtar, you're on top. Sarar and Naren, you need to give a push now. For which technology can the teams be trained in the virtual cyber range environment? What technologies are used or can be replicated using the cyber range online training platform? Only 11 people get it right. So this training platform is meant to train you on IT cybersecurity challenges, information technology, and on OT cybersecurity challenges, operational technology or industrial technologies. So we help you train and test your employees, their capabilities, their response time, how fast they are in doing their job right, and exploring and discovering vulnerabilities and responding to attacks only in IT and OT. So we didn't do anything with ChatGPT. We didn't do anything with telecom. We didn't do GSM. It's just IT and OT. So we're covering the IT side and the industrial side. I guess we're about to hit the last question. Mohi doing well, but we still have the top three, Mohi, Mukhtar and Jabber, but still, guys, one last leap could change everything. Last question: on what scenarios the trainings are not based on? Not based on. 5 seconds. And here we go. Yeah, most people got it right. So we do train you on techniques. We do train you on tactics and procedures. This is essential. We do train you on incident response and the experience related to incident response, but we didn't do business process workflow. It has nothing to do with workflow and business processes. And this was the last question. Let's see what happened to the score. And in the third place, Jabber, amazing job, man. I think this is the second time you win with us. Israr, amazing job, man. It's your first time, I think, to win with us. And the winner is Mukhtar. I thought Muhi was the last time we checked it, but Mukhtar, great job, man. Guys, it was an awesome session with you. It's always a great pleasure and honor for me to host you and work with you. For the winners, we will reach back to you. But in case that we messed up the name, I'm gonna share my email here in the chat. So please send me distylogics.com. So it's me@distylogics.com. In case for whatever reason I couldn't locate exactly the name, if there are ambiguities in the name, please confirm that you won. And always, I think it's easy for us to get you guys, because we know Jabir, know Israr. Mukhtar, I think I met you before, but I'll try to locate you. Guys, it was an awesome session. There are no words that I can find to thank Protelion, Joseph, and Pavel for their dedication and support to our region. And for the audience, we'll be so happy to work with you on one basis. If you have any requirement, we can go through detailed discussions. If you want us to do further presentations and demonstrations on one basis, or for any of your customers or your colleagues, we'll be more than happy to do so. Please reach back to us through this email. Today's presentation will be shared after a few days after the webinar. We will also share a recording of this webinar on our YouTube channel, and also it will be shared with you guys, so you can go back to it and go through the discussions today. Thanks to everyone. Joseph, if you have a final word, or guys, if there's anything, or if there are any questions, guys, to close the session with, I'll be happy to have them. Chat is disabled. Oh, sorry, Mukhtar, apologies for that. So my email is just Mike Echo @distylogics.com. And anyways, I'll send you an email. So if you need to come back to me, Muhammad Mukhtar, you can reply to that email. But I think it's easy to locate you. You're the winner, man. You're the boss today. You're the man. Yes, Joseph.
So from my side, thank you so much for attending our WebEx meeting here today, and hopefully we can give you some new ideas about protecting your clients against cyber attacks, and all give you new information about newer technology that can do the job better than the old one. And thanks, Mr. Mott, about organizing this webinar for us. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much. Guys, all of these technologies that we presented today are deployed and in our region also. Some of the customers that use them are sensitive customers that we cannot mention for NDA purposes, but they're all used, and it's been deployed for a long time. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you again in our next webinar.